Welcome to our 2022 Pioneer BH270. Starting right in your back bumper here. If you just reach in, pull that cap out of there. Inside of the back bumper, you're going to find your sewer hose. Take note of those two ears and the adapter here. I'll be hooking it up to your sewer system, and the hose itself, once fully extended, is about 20 feet long. Just keeping it stored in the bumper back here to help keep any sort of stench out of the unit, keep things a bit cleaner. This cap just presses back into place. Kind of up in the back corner from there, you're going to find your cable and satellite inlet. Coax cable plugs into there, fires up at your TV location. Right around the corner is your exterior shower. So as you pop that open, you get your little water hose here. It's about 3 feet long, standard head. Hot and cold water. So if you've got the dog out getting muddy, you can spray him off before he gets inside. Once you're done, that head just tucks into place and closes back shut. Up top here, you got your power cord inlet. So as you pop that open, you're going to find a little notch in the bottom corner there. It's going to line up with this notch here. Press those in together, and a little 1/8 turn will kind of lock it into place. And then you get the threaded collar in the back there to properly lock it down. As you follow the cord back, you're going to find a standard 30 amp end there. Most campsites will have that. You can plug straight on in and you're good to go. We do also provide you with a 15 amp adapter, so if you're looking to plug in at home to charge your batteries or run your fridge, you got the power to do so. A couple of steps forward, we get your sewer system here. So you're just going to kind of press on that cap and give it a turn. You can pop it on out of there. See, it's got all the same ears on it that your sewer hose had. It'll attach the same way, just pressing it in, kind of turning it until it clicks down. On the left is your gray tank. On the right is your black. Black tank is filled from your toilet. Of course, it's going to be your dirtiest water, so we'll dump that first. Once that's done, you can then come to your gray. Gray tank is going to be filled from your sinks as well as your shower. Typically cleaner water, we'll just dump that last to help keep that sewer hose as clean as possible. And underneath your short cord inlet is your city water inlet. So basically your water hose will just plug into there, turn on the water, and it'll pressurize your water lines throughout the unit. Coming towards the front of your slide here, we're going to find one end of your storage compartment. So as you open that up, you get this little finger on the left side there, just holds it open for you. Inside of here, you'll find your water hose. Inside of the water hose is your park adapter. So your 30 amp cord into there, 15 to a standard outlet. Around front of the unit, find this little black box here. That's a battery box. Your battery is housed right inside of there. As long as you're plugged into that short cord in the back or your 7-pin to your tow vehicle, that battery is charging for you. These knobs here, if you loosen them off and push them back, you can open it up. You get access to your propane tanks. For the video, I'll just pull this right off and then we can show you your changeover in the back here. So I believe it's currently green and we're pointing off to this tank. So it's just letting us know we've got good propane and we're running off of this tank. If it were to go red while you got this tank open, it's just letting you know it's now empty. At that point, you just close this tank off, flip the changeover over, run off of this tank while you get the other one filled. In front's a power tongue jack. On the right side there, you get the little light switch. On the left, up is up, down is down. This rubber plug back there, if you remove that, it gives you access to the manual override. The manual override jack for it, you're going to find right in here. It's just this little guy right there, just sticks on in. You can run it up and down. The big 3/4 inch bit right there is be for all your slide out manual overrides. And then this rod right there will be for your stabilizer manual overrides. Your stabilizers are just run off of these switches here. So you press and hold extend and they'll make their way down. Once they hit the ground, you hear that kind of load on the motor. Once you hear that, you're going to stop. If you're to continue extending, you can actually strip the gear pack right out of it, which of course you don't want to be doing. Once you're done, just retract, kind of comes up all the way, turns itself off. If you were to go right to the other end of that rod there is where you'd find your attachment for that manual override. A little T-latch there, just going to the door, just kind of holds it open for you. Behind the door, you're going to find your hot water tank. So just that little keyway there, you're going to line it up and you can pop it on open. All your controls for turning it on are just inside the unit. Before turning it on though, you just want to hit this relief valve right there. You should be getting that water coming out. If you're not getting any water coming out of there, there is a chance that it's empty and you do run the risk of burning it out. So you just want to make sure that you're getting that water out and that tank is full before you fire it up, just so you're not burning out your elements. If you do have an issue firing it up with propane, reset button is just right there. Kind of go over that a bit more once we get inside. Directly underneath that, you're going to find your freshwater tank drain. This is the one right in the back there, so you can see we got that going. The other two water lines here are low point drains. So you open those up, it just allows the water lines to drain themselves out. So if you're leaving the camper for a while, you don't want your water going stale or stagnant, you'd open those up, drain out the water before you leave. Kind of up from there, you get a GFI protected outlet, as well as a cable and satellite outlet. So if you want TV outside, you got the power to do so. Freshwater inlet's just right here. Your water hose will plug into there, turn on the water, and it fills up your freshwater tank. You know that tank is full once it starts spitting water out of that vent there. Exhaust for your furnace back here, so if you're ever running a furnace, you just want to make sure it's not blocked off. It does get hot. Fridge vent is right up above it. Nothing really back there for you to worry about. It's just kind of service and venting. Then right in the top, you're going to see your two exterior speakers. Then right in between them is your stove vent. So you just get this little flap in here that's opened up, just allowing our fan inside to evacuate any sort of fumes. Once you're done, just kind of pressing it back into place until it clicks. That'll prevent any dust from kicking up in there while you're out traveling. The rear entry is just into that rear bedroom, or rear bathroom, sorry. So it's just kind of straightforward. We'll go through that once we're in there. This attachment right here is your black tank flush. So you may notice over time after having gone and dumped your black tanks, your monitor panel's still reading 1/3 or 2/3, whatever it may be. Typically it's just some debris inside of the tank hanging between the probes. What you can do is take your water hose and plug it into here, Open up your black valve, turn on the water, and that'll just flush out that tank for you. For these back steps, you're just going to grab that handle, you flip it out. There's another step that you flip over as well. That switch back there is just for your rear stabilizer. And then in the right back of the unit, you get your tailgate storage system. Get your spare tire there as well. Straight up from there, you're going to find your pre-wired mount for a rear view or observation camera. So now we'll make our way inside of the unit. You get your assist handle here. You're just going to pop that up 90 degrees and it'll fall into place. Of course, close off the door too, just kind of wherever you like it. Door opens on up. Then we get this little blue latch there. You're going to pull that in towards the center and you can open up your stairs. There's two little tabs there. If you were to push those in, you can extend or retract your legs just based on your campsite needs. As we come inside, first things first, right on the left there, you get your fire extinguisher. That's standard. Pull the pin, point, and shoot. Kind of up and behind it, we've got your monitor systems. So in the top right corner there is your water pump. You're going to turn that switch on. Turns on your water pump, drawing out of your fresh tank to pressurize your lines. Water heater on gas is right down below it. Turn that on, you get that little red light there, letting you know the ignition sequence will start. Once that sequence is started, that light's going to go out. It's going to try that 3 times. If after the third try it hasn't fired up, that light's going to come on and stay on. At that point, you can go outside and use that reset button, or just turn it off and back on to reset it. Electric water heater is right down below it. It's the same idea there. Once you have it filled up, you just turn that switch on, turns it on with electricity. Unit is pre-wired for Wi-Fi, so you have that WineGuard Connect switch just right there. Turn that on, it would turn on your Wi-Fi if you had that installed. Up again on the left side here, get your light switch on the left is going to do your awning light outside. One on the right does your interior lights. Slide out switch is on this switch here. So you just press and hold out, the slide will make its way out. Once that side's fully extended, we're just going to hear some clicks from the motors letting us know they've reached their stall. Just like that. Switch beside it's your awning. Press and hold extend and the awning will make its way out. Once that awning's fully extended, we're going to see a little black flap come down as well as the black of the metal tube. Once you see that, you're going to stop. If you're to continue extending, it can actually wind itself up backwards, in which case your fabric would be underneath the tube, allowing it to then hold water, accelerating the growth of mold and mildew. There's our flap, and there's the tube, so we'll stop right there. Now, if it were to start raining, it's of course going to hold some water anyways. So what you can do is grab either arm, front, or rear, just pull straight down on it. And you can see that changes the pitch of the awning out at the head, allowing water to then run off. Now, if you like that angle better because it does give you more shade, you can do the same thing with the arm up front. Before you bring it back in though, you just want to make sure these arms are back out straight and fully extended, just so you're not running the risk of bending them. Then we'll press and hold the tract. The awning will make its way back in. Again, you're just going to watch to make sure that your fabric stays over top of the tube. And the last thing to keep in mind with your awning is it does catch a lot of wind. So once you get up to about 15, 20 kilometers an hour wind, you want to bring it back in, again, just so you're not running the risk of bending your arms. Now we'll head up into the front bedroom here. The light switch is just right up on the wall there. Blinds throughout the unit, just sit where you leave them. Straight up from there is the pre-wire for that WineGuard Connect Wi-Fi thing. Your closet space here, you open that up. You do get the little CPAP access. You also have a light up on the wall there with USB charging. You also have the power outlet there, of course. If we pick up the foot of your bed, you do get access to a little storage compartment. Right up in the head of the bed is another little light there. And then the same sort of CPAP storage back here, the same sort of light and the power outlet there. Right behind me is your emergency exit. So you'd be pulling this red tab to get rid of the screen, take this handle here, throw it outside, hop on out. Then behind me again, we'll get your TV backer location. So you have a TV backer right in there, power outlet for it, as well as your cable and satellite outlets. Kind of right around the wall from there, we're going to find kind of a storage closet space, right? Then your kind of TV backer for up front here, same thing right there. Antenna outlet for it, turning that antenna on, just that little button there, you get that green light letting you know it is turned on. Power outlets there as well. This here is just the antenna for your stereo, so really just kind of placing that wherever you have the best signal. Typically just stays there and it works all right. HDMI is hooked into the stereo as well. Stereo is pretty straightforward there. Your power button's up in the top left. Press this guy to kind of mute it or get into all your settings, sorry. And then of course it's also your volume control. Pretty straightforward after that. Storage down low. Into the slide out, you get your light right up top there. The centerpiece, if you fold that down, you get some cup holders. If you're to fold it up, pick up the base, and fold it right down, create your bed. USB charging right in the center there. Then in the dinette, you get the same sort of light there. You can see you've currently got it set up as the dinette. If you're to take your table, wiggle it up and out of its legs, the legs will then wiggle out of their bases. You get two little ledges there that the table will sit onto. You take your back cushions, fill in the middle, and that'll create your bed. In the kitchen, you get your storage right up top here. You get that binder. It's got all of your owner's manuals in it, any remotes, any keys, anything like that, you're going to find right in there. Down underneath, get a little light. Hot and cold water at your sink, of course. You do also get the little dual basin there. A little bit of storage here. If you're looking to winterize the unit yourself once it comes time, access to your hot water tank's just right there. Your water pump's right behind this panel here. There's just a screw in each corner. Your drawer space right beside it all. Okay. Microwave, pretty standard, just like home. Down underneath it, you get your range vent, your fan, and your light. So that's that fan that you want turned on with that flap outside opened up to evacuate any fumes. The bifold cover here just flips on back. Then you can take your knob, turn it over to light, hit the igniter, and it fires right up. Once you're done, just turning it all back off, letting it cool down, and then closing it back off. For the oven, you're going to open it up, turn that knob there on the right over to that little pilot, press and hold. While you're pressing and holding, you can get it going in the back there with a little lighter. Once you have it going, you just hold for another couple seconds, and you can release, and the flame will hold itself. Turn up to your desired temperature, and she fires right up. Once you're done, turn it back down just a pilot. It'll hold just the pilot light for you, but if you're going traveling, you just want to make sure it's right off. Fridge right beside it all. The freezer up top here, as you open that up, you're going to find your power control on the left there. So with that button, that flush, that's it turned on. Auto is first looking for AC power. If AC power is taken away, it'll automatically flip over to gas. If you want it to run solely on gas, you're going to have that button come out over flush. It'll fire up on gas. If that check light there were to come on, it's just letting you know it hasn't fired up. At that point, just off, back on to reset it. Freezer up top there, and your fridge down underneath it. Temp selection in the top right corner there. Return air for your furnace down underneath it, so just kind of making sure it's not blocked off. Pantry space beside it all. Converter underneath that. Press and hold the top and pop on open. You get all of your breakers in the middle here. Whenever breaker breaks, it sits in the center, so just turn it off and then back on to reset it. All of your fuses are on the right side. In the bathroom, that's where you're going to find that rear entry door. Up on the wall there, the light switch on the right does your light. The one on the left does your ceiling vent. The roof vent there, you just turn that knob to open it up. Simple as that. There is a little switch there that just does the fan. We've got that on this switch here, so simple as that. In the shower, you get your standard head and hose, hot and cold water course. Toilet just flips on open, you get your flusher on the right side. A little bit of storage underneath your sink here. Just being mindful of your drains and your water lines. Hot and cold water there, of course. GFI protected outlets beside it, test on the left, reset in the center. So if you ever have outlets that don't work, it's the first thing you should check. Then just your little bit of medicine cabinet space there. And then in the bunks, you get your light right in the back corner. It's the USB and the switch, the same one that you had in that front bedroom. Identical space down below. Just down here you have the emergency exit. Again, works the same thing as that bedroom up front. In the end here of your bunks, you've got your thermostat. Press that bottom bar, it'll wake it up. You come down into hit again, it'll come down into fan low. That's of course just the low fan moving some air. Fan high is same deal, just the high fan now. Cool high is going to have the compressor in and out as needed with the high fan on all the time. Same idea in cool low, it's just now it's using the low fan. Cool low auto is where it becomes an on-demand system where both the compressor and the fan will come in and out as needed. Temp selection just with your arrows here. After cool low auto, it comes into cool high auto. Same idea, it's just now it's using the high fan. With the air conditioner going, you got two different options here. You can have these two louvers here closed, in which case we would have been using all of our ceiling ducting, or you open it up and it just dumps all its air into the living room here. So when you first get out to your site, you want those open, cool off this area as quickly as possible, and close them off, start moving the air throughout. After cool high auto, you hit that bar again, comes down into heat. Again, temp selection just with your arrows there. It'll turn off the air conditioner, turn on your furnace. And then after the furnace there, you just hit that heat button again, comes down into off, and just turns everything off. Furnace will be moving its air through all your floor registers. And straight down from there is your LP detector. Propane's heavier than air, sits on the floor. This guy detects it and starts going off just like a smoke detector would. Smoke detector is kind of right at the other end of the slide out here. There we go. And the last thing I'm going to go over is just this little ladder here. So you can see with it stored away, it tucks away real nice, so you get easy access up top. If you have it out, it does cross over your slide. So if you're going to be running your slide, you just want to make sure that that guy is tucked away properly. All right. So that's about it for this unit. If you've got any other questions on it, please feel free to give us a call, 204-237-7272.